The difference between average earners and the ultra-wealthy is not resource. It is entirely psychology. The elite operate on a completely different mental frequency, mastering deep strategic cognitive wiring. While the masses react to emotion, the 1% isolates execution. They view market volatility not as a threat, but as a completely predictable mechanic designed to transfer retail wealth. To enter the upper echelons, you must destroy consumer programming. Stop seeking cheap dopamine through material purchases. Real financial emperors derive their fulfillment from building unshakable, highly leveraged systems. Mastering your psychology requires absolute emotional detachment. When prices crash, the amateur panics and liquidates his portfolio. The elite operator calmly executes his predetermined plan, buying up discounted structural assets. True high-performance habits are forged in absolute anonymity. The elite don't seek validation from social networks. They spend decades perfecting their inner strategic framework, completely silent, before making major global moves. The psychological blueprint of wealth demands extreme accountability. You must stop blaming corporate systems, taxes, or politicians. Accept that your current allocation of capital is a direct reflection of your strategic focus. Elite investors treat their minds like highly secured banking vaults. They ruthlessly filter out negative economic news, useless media panic, and toxic retail opinions. They protect their cognitive focus at all costs. This ruthless filtering creates immense strategic clarity. While ordinary people are overwhelmed by daily digital noise, the 1% focuses entirely on long-term structural trends, positioning assets years ahead of the crowd. Patience is the ultimate leverage in finance. The modern market is an elaborate mechanism designed to transfer capital from the impatient trader to the hyper-disciplined asset allocator. Master the art of waiting. Most people fail because they think in weeks or months. The architects of wealth plan their moves across generations. They design legal trusts, holding entities, and family offices, ensuring eternal financial preservation. To shift your perspective, you must understand the dual nature of money. Currency is designed to lose purchasing power over time. Assets are designed to capture and retain the energy of human production. Stop trading hours for paper bills. Start weaponizing your capital to acquire hard infrastructure, automated systems, and prime real estate. Let the debt of others fuel the compounding growth of your personal matrix. The fear of losing money keeps the middle class permanently trapped. They seek absolute safety inside low-yield savings accounts. Meanwhile, inflation silently erodes their lifetime of hard work and collective purchasing power. The elite look at risk mathematically. They understand asymmetric upside. They accept small, calculated losses in exchange for massive, exponential returns. They never play to avoid losing. They play to absolute dominance. Your mind must become comfortable with massive numbers. If managing $1 million causes you intense anxiety, your psychological container is too small. You must slowly normalize high-stakes corporate financial leverage. This normalization happens through continuous execution and professional education. Study corporate balance sheets, understand macroeconomics, read legal frameworks. Knowledge dissolves the fear that keeps the general public completely paralyzed. Once fear is removed, finance becomes a simple game of chess. Every individual, corporation, and government asset becomes a potential piece on the board. You analyze the positions and execute with absolute cold precision. The middle class hoards depreciating cash out of deep psychological fear. The elite weaponize debt to acquire compounding corporate assets. This single shift in perspective dictates who rules and who serves. Debt is not a burden if you understand legal leverage. When used correctly, it allows you to control massive global operations using other people's capital while legally minimizing your personal tax footprint. The educational system purposefully trains the masses to become compliant employees. It teaches them to fear leverage, avoid risk, and depend on a single salary. It builds the perfect corporate cog. To break the cycle, you must actively unlearn retail financial programming. Adopt the aggressive psychological blueprint of the sovereign allocator. Stop working for currency. Force your capital to work tirelessly for you. High performance extends into your physiological discipline. The top operators manage their energy levels, sleep cycles, and physical health with industrial precision. A weak body will always compromise your strategic execution. Fatigue makes cowards of us all. When your physical energy drops, your brain defaults to emotional decision-making. You take the easy path, miss critical details, and compromise on your established operational standards. Treat your lifestyle like a high-end corporate enterprise. Optimize your nutrition, track your sleep metrics, and eliminate cognitive friction. Your physical vessel is the core engine driving your multi-million-dollar strategy. Discipline is not a restriction, it is the ultimate form of personal freedom. By controlling your daily actions, you insulate your empire from external chaos, maintaining total autonomy over your timeline. The elite do not negotiate with their inner weakness. If they schedule an operational task, it gets executed. No excuses, no delays, no emotional drama. They demand perfection from themselves before demanding it from others. This internal standard reflects in their corporate negotiations. When you operate with absolute internal discipline, you project immense power. People can sense that you cannot be manipulated, intimidated, or bought cheaply. In high-stakes business, the person with the highest tolerance for discomfort always wins. The ability to stay calm inside the pressure cooker of a collapsing deal gives you ultimate psychological leverage. While your competitors panic and make hasty concessions, you remain completely solid. Your silence becomes a powerful weapon. It forces the opposing party to second-guess their strategy and capitulate to your terms. This level of presence is not accidental. It is built through years of intentional exposure to stress, failure, and intense risk. You must actively seek out hard challenges to harden your cognitive framework. Never complain about obstacles. The difficulties you face are simply filters designed to eliminate the weak. Every crisis is a test, separating the true financial emperors from the temporary retail pretenders. When the global economy enters a major recession, the masses fall into deep despair. The 1% looks at the landscape with predatory focus. They know that massive fortunes are always built during downturns. They look for over-leveraged companies, distressed real estate portfolios, and broken supply chains. They step in as liquidity providers, acquiring critical economic infrastructure for pennies, compounding their power exponentially. This is the macro mindset, a continuous predatory focus on asset acquisition. You must stop viewing the world as a consumer looking for comfort. Start viewing it as an empire builder mapping terrain. Analyze every business you interact with. How do they generate cash? What is their leverage? Where is their structural vulnerability? Train your mind to see the invisible economic lines connecting global industries. True luxury is not a superficial display of designer logos. It is absolute sovereign autonomy, the power to dictate your terms, select your partners, and operate entirely outside standard societal grids. The masses buy luxury goods to fake a high social status. The elite buy assets to secure absolute privacy and total legal protection. One seeks external validation. The other commands unshakable institutional power. Re-engineer your psychology today. Stop letting consumer dopamine dictate your financial allocation. Direct every single dollar toward buying back your time, expanding your leverage, and cementing your independent financial lineage. The Matrix wants you permanently indebted, distracted, and emotionally reactive. By mastering your psychology and adopting the rigid blueprint of the 1%, you become completely immune to their systemic control. The game of capital is eternal. The tech tools change, but human psychology remains completely fixed. Master your mind, master the rules of allocation, and claim your seat among the ultimate emperors.